Hello. Oh, geez, voice crack. Hello. Hi. It's me, your local virtual baker, Salty Kichi. Hello, 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 hello. Wow. Morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, T, if you're still in chat. Good morning, Lung. Hello. Hi, everyone. How are you all doing today? It's day 2, and we're gonna be doing some more baking. Oh, wait, I gotta do something real quick. Kind of realized. There we go. Hopefully that should be better. I'm not sure. Hello everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Today, if you have not read the title and if you don't know and if you weren't here on yesterday's stream, that is all okay. We're just continuing some baking that we were doing yesterday. And we are going to finish baking some things also as well. One of those things that we are going to be finished baking is this right here. I will direct you all to seeing what we have to finish. We have this bread right here. This bread right here left to finish. It is sourdough bread, and we have to make sure we get that finished and baked by today, so we can make sure that recipe does work really well. And yeah, that is one thing from yesterday we have to bake. We are also going to have to finish this today. We have some focaccia that we're going to bake today, so we got that to bake off today. We worked on that yesterday to get a good biga fermenti, or a sponge, which is what it really is, just a sponge. We're going to do bagels. We might try to do pretzels. We're going to probably do more rye. And I know one of the highlights of today, at least, something I really want to do. I really want to make sure that we redo that milk bread recipe. That is, I've been up all night about it because I know something went wrong, and it's mostly because I did something wrong. So I want to make sure that the recipe is 100% operational and it works very well. So yeah, we gotta have a lot of things to do. We are gonna be doing this for a long time, because if yesterday's stream was any indicator of how long we're gonna be streaming, keep that as a grain of salt in your mind of how long we are gonna be live today. We're gonna be streaming for probably around. We're gonna do a good endurance stream again today. So buckle in, get some water, get some food, snack, and just have me in the background, or even, because we're gonna get started today, and we're gonna make sure we get this all done and make sure everything turns out well. And if not, we're gonna continue streaming until it does. I got myself a nice good old tea right here. I think it's some sort of black tea. So I got myself a nice lovely black tea to start us off, and I can know now that we are going to have a good. So, let's get right into it, shall we? So, taking my advice from the other day, I'm gonna get this milk bread hangzong out of the way as soon as I can. It only makes sense. So, I'm going to do 245 grams of milk. Okay, cool. I actually had to go shopping this morning. I had to make sure I woke up early this morning, which is why I'm already kind of feeling really nice and relaxed. I'm very excited just to be streaming again and baking. I'm just very happy about baking in general. Very excited and happy. I don't really bake that much during the winter time, just because during that time, we're very busy at my job. So having the freedom to go back to baking and stuff and streaming as well, it's very relaxing. So yeah, that being said, by the way, I hope you're all expecting to see a lot more baking streams in the future. We're going to be baking a lot more. My busy season is finally done, and I'm able to now actually do a lot more. So it'll be very fun, it'll be very exciting. I plan to do a lot more baking, and it's actually nice that we're doing this as our first baking stream of the year. I want to make sure that all these recipes I'm doing are going to work properly, work effectively, so then once we get into the other stuff, we will be professional and we will know what we're doing. So that is very important we get that stuff out of the way first. We need to get back to basics, if you will. 49. Go for 50. Oh, wait, I just completely went over. I was not paying attention. Oh dear. I don't know. I'll put it back in the flap. It's dry still, so it's fine. Try to get the top off, just skimming off the top here. Okay, now we're getting to the point where it's no longer the top. Oh, 49. Perfect. I'll just have to dump that down the drain, unfortunately. It's just flour, so nothing to worry about. Right. Same ordeal as yesterday. Nothing different, nothing has changed. Just the only thing is that we're getting this out of the way first, so then we can have this cleared out, and then we can have that cool down, which is the more important thing. Also, I'm not sure how loud the music is. Is the music too loud today? I decided to change up the music a bit and try to get a little bit more, I guess, on theme. We're cooking, we're baking, we're having a little bit of fun today. So it kind of made sense to me to do something that is a little bit more on that kind of brand. A little bit of like the nice cozy jazz. So, that's what I was thinking. How do we feel about this nice music? Do you feel like that you're listening, you're like, I don't know, watching a weird bootleg version of a ratatouille, but instead of cooking, we're baking? Not sure. I'm asking you. I'm asking all of you. Do you prefer this or the mind-bogglingly, mind-numbing music from our normal streams? You missed that? Hi there, Luki. Hi. Welcome in, welcome in. Oh, okay, that was weird. OBS decided to completely disconnect and then reconnect. Strange. Sorry, I had to check on something real quick. I was worried about OBS. OBS gave me a warning of something's going on, so I just wanted to take a real quick check on it. Will you only be baking? Yes, we will only be baking today again. We're not going to be doing much more than what I am already doing. Though I will mention that we might do a little cooking today. So we'll be doing a fair amount of things today. Baking, cooking, all that sort of stuff. Hello, I'm a new sub. Well, welcome in. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for being here, and thank you for tuning in. Glad you're able to tune in. We're doing a very fun stream today of just baking and baking, baking. We're not doing anything crazy. We're once more just testing my recipes again. I had to go through each and every single one because I found out that the recipes I've been doing have been wrong this entire time. So I'm going back through every single one just to do a quick quality check and make sure that they're all fine. So yeah. Right now we are going back to our milk bread recipe from yesterday. Although it did taste good and it was completely fine and perfect. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Hello. Hold on. I just gotta throw this into my refrigerator now so it cools off quickly. As I was saying, even though the milk bread recipe did turn out phenomenal and it turned out very nice, the flavor was good, and I very much did eat the ends. They were delicious. I do want to go back and check, because if we saw our brioche yesterday, the brioche came out beautifully. The milk bread, however, was okay-ish. So I want to go back and make sure that we do a better quality check. I've been up all night trying to think of, like, you know, why did the milk bread not turn out correctly? Why did it get so flat? Why was it not all fluffy and beautiful looking as the brioche? And I kind of realized there's probably two things that probably were in effect. There wasn't enough yeast, the hydration was too low, and the tangzong was too hot and killed a lot of the yeast. So there's a few bit of possibility of why that is happened. But today we're going to go and iron out every single thing and make sure that the procedure is followed correctly. Even if I even made them, I gotta make sure I follow them, because I have a tendency of making a direction list and then not following it in the slightest. So yeah. I tried baking and burnt the kitchen, sadly. Ugh, I hope you meant just like burnt your bread or whatever you meant, not burnt down your kitchen. Quite, to say at the very least, tragic. Ugh. I do have very simple recipes if you ever are interested in baking one more. Usually my recipes are very straightforward, very simple, and some of them don't really require that much work, which is a very great plus for some of the recipes. So, if you have a hard time, you can follow my recipes and then see how that works for you. There's no guarantee that you'll make an amazing bread, but you can at least make a good one. If you follow the recipe, follow the procedure to an absolute finite tea. Speaking of tea, I'm gonna take a sip of my tea. Alright, I'm gonna start measuring out the dries. And yeah, I'm not gonna go and repeat everything I've done with the dries. Like, we did this yesterday, so I don't feel the need to elaborate all this such again. So, I was thinking, you know, I drink a lot of tea, though I never really asked any of you, if anyone is in chat right now. You all like drinking tea as well. What faction, I suppose, are we all a part of? Are we part of the tea faction or the coffee faction? What kind of people are we? Tea or coffee people? And I'm not talking about drinking it in the morning or anything like that. I'm just talking about, like, generally. Because, to be honest, if we're talking about drinking stuff in the morning, I drink myself a nice glass of water. I don't have enough time to get water hot and then put my tea bag in there and then wait for it to get steeped in. And it's the same thing for coffee, but I just don't like coffee. I think, actually, if anything, coffee is a lot more effort. It's like, oh, okay, so if I gotta make a coffee, I gotta make sure I get my coffee pot thing hot. I gotta make sure I'm using the right amount of thing, and I gotta get the cream, I gotta get the sugar, and blah 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 blah. It seems a lot of nonsense for me. And then it's like, oh, I don't even like the taste of coffee. And then people say, oh, wait, but you're not tasting coffee correctly. You need to have, like, sugar and cream and honey and all this sort of stuff, and it's like, that's kind of stupid. I like drinking, I don't know, I don't feel like I don't really want to, tell you the simple truth. So I'm just always thinking, like, man, that's a lot of work just to make one thing. I like to drink my tea black usually. I don't really like to add anything to my tea. If anything, maybe a bit of sugar, a pinch of salt, funny enough too. But I don't know, I don't like the aspect of adding a whole bunch of things to coffee and then making it essentially not coffee. I don't know, it just makes me think like, oh, coffee is good when it's good. Tea is, in my head, is always just good. You gotta get the right kind of tea, the right flavor of tea, and then next thing you know it, you're just dandelions and daisies. Maybe you have a dandelion and daisy tea as well. And then I just kind of feel like coffee's kind of boring. There's one kind of coffee in the world, and it's like, oh, black bean coffee or whatever the heck it is. Like, oh, I want myself a coffee and this one and that one, and you know, there might be other things of like beans and stuff among that, but I think it's always too complicated. So I'm once more gonna just say like, there's so many different varieties of teas, and if you don't want a lot of tea, then you just get like a nice simple tea, like a nice green tea or something among that. Black tea is okay, but black tea is definitely like coffee in the sense that you need a lot of stuff of it. A lot of stuff to make it good again. But there's like green teas, matchas, there's flower teas, there's lavender teas. I have something, this tea I'm drinking right now is actually kind of interesting. It's called volcanic rock tea. It's not actually rocks if you're thinking about that. I guess it's more or less trying to describe the flavor profile, and it's not ashy before you even think about volcanic. It's like very earthy. It's like a black tea, but still has a touch of floral notes to it. It's very lovely. It's nice. But it is something that probably would be nice with just a squeeze of lemon. So I'm not really too worried about that. I just want a simple cup of tea today. I got myself a simple cup of tea. Very straightforward, yes? Okay, 250. You know, I'm just kind of thinking of it now as well, because this music just makes me think of Ratatouille a lot. Is it an accordion? Because that sound, you know, like that do 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 do, that, I don't know how to make the sound of it, but the accordion sounding thing, it makes me think of like Ratatouille, and makes me think like, maybe I should do a cooking. And one of those cooking streams I really want to try and do, I think would be really fun. Have you ever heard of Ratatouille? And I'm not talking about the movie, I'm talking about the dish, Ratatouille. So, Ratatouille is actually not called Ratatouille. It is actually called Configliati. Configliati? I do not know how to pronounce it, but it's Confitblyadi. That. The dish in Ratatouille is called that, like that really nice fancy dish that Remy makes at the end of the movie. It actually is called Confit or I can't pronounce it because I am not Francais, but I would like to make that on stream sometime. Not only is it because it's fun to make and it's simple to make, but... Well, not just because it's fun to make, but it's also very simple to make, too. It also does just taste very good, too. Alright. Back to our bag of yeast. And I am going to go do only 10 grams, I believe. Let me check. We are going to use 10 grams of yeast. There we go, 10 grams. Lovely. I actually gotta leave this yeast out because we're gonna be using it a lot more fairly soon, so. No, I just love myself a nice good old cup of coffee. I love my coffee with a little pinch of yeast. Makes it taste very bready. It's very delicious. Alright, there we go. That should be able to do its thing now. I need butter now. Which I got some right here. This, and I'll be using a knife to cut off the butter. I need 72 grams, which isn't going to be that much, so that's nice. $29. $35. $63. Alright, this little chunk will make it right to 72. There we go. 72 on the dime. I'm just that good. Alright, we got our butter, we got our yeast mix. I don't think I'm missing anything else other than the tangzong. Yep. I'll just leave these things to the side for now. We're gonna let that stuff rest as we start measing. We start, well, measing is a word, but I didn't really go over what that word means. So people might be confused when I use the word meese, but don't worry about it, never mind. Forget I said that. Alright, so sourdough is still resting, and we still got time on that. So how about we do the focaccia? Let's get that ready, yes? So it's very simple, all things considered. And I can reuse this container. Ooh, yeah, it smells very yeasty. I'm going to reuse this container, and I'm going to use it to measure out our liquids that we need. So I think I'm going to actually do that after we mix the milk bread. Actually, you know what? We'll mix the milk bread later. Let me put it in a different bowl. Yeah, I got like 20 bowls for today as well, so. We're ready. We're prepared for today. Alright. Yeah, the milk bread is gonna go into this bowl. I have decided. I have decided that the thing will go in here. There we go. Okay, milk bread. You will be resting somewhere else for now. We'll get back to you later. Foccacia, on the other hand, which I'll get to right now. So, let's see. I'm gonna get some warm water here. Okay, so 200 grams of water. Alright. Okay. What do I need? Oh, I need that lid again. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna just cap this for now. I'm gonna just put a little hat onto it. And just to loosen up the starter, our artificial, not artificial, our quickly scuffed made starter. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a shake. Just so I can loosen it up a bit, and we can just throw it right into our flour mix when we're ready. It's a nice way to wake it up as well. focaccia. We are going to now need 350 grams of bread flour. 10 grams of salt. 12 grams of honey. I'll add that in a moment. So salt, flour, honey, and olive oil is the only two things we're worried about. But I like to add them a little later. This is your one warning, chat. As I've made warnings yesterday, I'm gonna make warnings again today. I'm not sure how loud that mixer is. That mixer is going to be fairly loud. So if you want to just prepare yourself, you have 5 seconds until I turn it on, alright? I'm going to be turning it on in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, as we have that now all in the mixer, I'm now going to get our wet stuff and throw it into the bread in. As that's also now mixing, I'm going to use the same containers so we can get any sort of stuff that's left in there and make sure it's really into our bread. I'm now going to be measuring olive oil. Feels like I'm trying to open a pill bottle. Jeez. So, we are going to need 90 grams of extra virgin olive oil. Actually, wait, no, I gotta change that. I gotta change the recipe. It's only 60 grams. I remembered that because I remembered that on top of it we put 30 grams of olive oil, but we don't really worry about that number. Oh well. So we put in 60 grams of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and then we're gonna put in 12 grams of honey. I like using honey a lot more than sugar. It's a lot more, I guess, natural. The flavor is also just a lot more unique than just using plain old sugar. But whenever I can, I always like to try to replace my sugar with honey. Alright. Stop for a moment and throw in this such. Alright, well, now that's all mixing. We kind of just have to let that do its thing for now, and at this point I'm just going to clean up as I go. I gotta clean up now so I don't have to be cleaning up for hours after I'm finished streaming. Yesterday I wasn't really cleaning as I go that well, and I had to do a lot of cleanup to say at the very least. Alright. So as that's working, we can actually start getting ready for other things. What those other things might be, we are going to also be making bagels today as well. Let me scroll. Let me look through my book. Yes, because you can scroll through this, right? Kinda? Yeah, okay. Bagels. We'll just now get on to doing bagels. So, in my recipe for bagels, it is going to be a little bit different because I have access to it. So I have this funny thing called malt syrup, barley malt syrup specifically. This stuff is nice. I use it as a flavoring. It has a nice rich flavor. It's not like as intense as molasses, so I think it's not as intense. I don't really like taking like teaspoons of molasses and barley malt, so I don't really know. All I know is that it gets a better, more rich flavor than normal sugar can give. It's kind of like brown sugar, but not brown sugar syrup. So I'm going to be using that in the recipe, and we're going to see how that turns out. Either way around it, I'm just trying to say that malt syrup and the sugar in my recipe are interchangeable. It's something I see that you can kind of swap them out either way. So, for this, we are going to need 265 grams of water, which is very easy to get. That's my bowl here. I'm going to show you all a very lazy cooking trick. If you ever are like, man, I want to put my tools on the... I want to put my equipment onto my countertop, but I don't feel like cleaning my countertop later. You get some tinfoil, and you use that for your surface area. It's a little lazy, and also, now you're wasting tinfoil, but that's something that I know I often do when I'm at work, so... If I'm at work and I want to make sure I'm working clean, and all I have to do is pick something up and throw it away, I usually use tinfoil to make things a little cleaner. Anyways, 265. Water, and now 7 grams of yeast. Let's go. Now we are going to use some flour. What bowl do I have for the flour? Not for the flour, for the bagels. We are going to do 488 grams of fresh flour. Okay. There we go, 488. We're going to do 20 grams of sugar. And 7 grams of salt. It's a very simple recipe. Okay. it looks like the focaccia now needs to go to rest. I don't have any more bowls. Oh, that's good enough. Alright. I need a bowl scraper. Where I put the bowl scraper. Did I clean it yesterday? I did. Okay, cool. Try to scrape out as much as I can, but I think I'll rinse this bowl. Not gonna worry about too much about cleaning this bowl yet. We still got a whole bunch of breads left, so we gotta get all that done first, and then we can start worrying about cleaning this with soap and water. A little bit of water and scrubbing out the sides are just good enough. We're not done mixing, by the way, so if you were very unenthusiastic about that sound, I'm gonna be doing it still. I'm sorry. So, ready your ears once more as I start getting that. Yeah, this is always usually the most unpleasant part of this stream, just because it's always so loud, and I apologize, but it's kind of the thing about bread. Either you do it by hand or you do it by a mixer, and doing it by a mixer is gonna make things a lot more faster and easier for me. So. Sorry, I value a bit more speed than your ears today, and yesterday, and every stream moving forward, so. Hey, I'm sorry. Kinda. Not really. I mean, I am, but still. You can always just turn the stream down, or just head out stream for a bit, maybe go get yourself a nice breakfast, a lunch, and then come back later. Alright. Gonna do some multitasking here though. I'm gonna now I'm gonna just really quickly wrap our focaccia here so it has a good time to rest. There we go. And we'll put our focaccia right here next to our sourdough. Okay, so I don't know what's next actually, I don't remember. I guess we can start working on the milk bread actually. How hot is it coming? Oh. Yeah, it's fine. We're good and ready to use it. We just gotta mix our bagels real quick. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but I should be done pretty soon. Oh, you're making the milk bread again. Yes, we are making the milk bread again. The recipe yesterday was okay, but I did a little bit more tinkerings last night just to make sure that it turns better. I want the milk bread to look a lot better than it did yesterday, so I'm trying to work on that. But we're also making other things today. We're not just making brioches and all that sort of stuff today. We're baking off our sourdough that we made yesterday. We just finished making our focaccia. Now we are mixing and kneading our bagels. And now, after the bagels are done, we're gonna throw in our stuff to make pretzels. I gotta sneeze, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. My tea has gotten cold at this point. I mean, I like iced tea and all, but it's just kind of sad. I need milk now. I want to make it into a milk tea. Getting there. The bagel dough is very close, very slowly getting there. I guess I should probably actually raise it up a bit so you can at least see the mixer, no? Yeah, I'm not sure if you can even see it though. It's just too far away, unfortunately. I'll let you see a little bit more though. Alright, bagel dough is pretty much done. I'm just gonna really do a quick test here to see if it is ready to go. Actually, it still feels really tacky. But I am gonna let it rest first, and then we're gonna maybe give it a quick knead before we give it more love. Yeah, a little bit time to rest will make it a lot better. Anyways, we're gonna get right into the next bread again. We're just pumping out these breads. This is like a real bakery. I think. I imagine if you do actually work at a bakery, you probably make breads by by like this. You measure out all your ingredients, and then once it's time to get mixing, you get mixing. No thoughts, just start mixing. You gotta keep that production going. What's more, I don't know. I've never worked in a bakery before, so I don't know what I'm saying. But this is what I imagine at least. Okay. Volume warning once more. Here we go. Beep beep boop boop womp womp. Alright. Pull this out, and then I'm gonna throw in the tiny home. It always is interesting to see how creamy it is. You wouldn't expect something like this to be so creamy looking, but it is. I'm hoping for today that this milk bread comes out really nice though. The time dissolving is very good. And I upped the hydration a lot, so now it's going to be what it was. It used to be 65. I bumped it up a whole 10% degree, so it should be very good. Which is what I'm hoping for. The milk bread was good from yesterday, but I did note that it was a little bit more dry than I liked it to be. So getting a bit more water, a little bit more liquid will help it take it to the next level. So. Once it all gets a bit more mixed together, I'm actually going to be able to throw in the butter finally, but I do know how that is now, for now. What else do we gotta work on? I keep forgetting. Oh, that's why I keep forgetting. I didn't even make a prep list. Did you, like, the prep list? Do you see it? I forgot about that completely, actually. And I forgot where I put my book. Where did I put my book? Where's my little book? put it? Oh my god, wait, where did I put it? I forgot. It's not, is it in my pockets? No, it's not my pockets. Is it like here? Here. Where did it go? Oh my god. Alright, I guess we're flying about the book for now. I forgot where I put it. I don't, wait, is it in the... Okay, for a second I thought I threw it in the refrigerator. I know that's something I would do and would do, but I guess I should have a bit more faith in myself. Yes. Not that silly. Alright. It's a lot more soft than yesterday, so that's definitely a good sign. So I'm gonna add the butter now, it should be a lot more salty. Wait a minute, I just realized something. That was on the wrong... Okay, I have to be in a simulation now, because I had... So I'm wearing bracelets today. Wow, look at my little bracelets and such. But this was on this hand, and I remembered that my bracelet was on my right hand. Am I going insane? Am I in a simulation right now? Wait. What that's really weird, actually. My memory might be playing a trick on me, which it normally is, but that's weird. Wait, what, that's really strange. Well, I'm not gonna delve on it too much then. Where is my book? I'm just looking for my book. Where's the silver book? Where'd it go? I really did forget where I put it. Oh my god. I don't know. Is it in the is it there? Is it here? It can't be in like a is it in the bread thing? Is it? Oh, getting wires around me. Is it down here? No, it's not down there. I think I actually have to go back to stream because I can't remember where I put the book. I like that. Where did I put it? Where did I put my orange little book? Where? I'm gonna throw a temper tantrum. Well, the milk bread is at its done. Nice, soft, supple. It feels a lot like how the brioche bread would, and it's a lot more softer this time, actually. Okay, I have a good feeling about this time. I feel a really good feeling about this. Yes, I like this. Right. Milk bread. Set aside for now. Where did it... Yeah, okay, I gotta take a second here. I actually have no idea where I put my... That's an important book that's supposed to guide me today. It also has all my recipes written down too, so... Oof. Yeah, okay. You all get a little bit of free time from your ears. You all have a little bit of clairvoyance in your ears for now. I have to look for my book. Where did I put my book? Where? It's like, not on me, which I probably would have put it there. I put it on me. Like in my apron or something. But it's not there. Here. Oh boy, where did I put it? Where did I put it? On the oven, is it? Okay, cool. Down here, is it on the floor, in between the oven? Where did I put it? Oh, I found it. I found it. It was, it was under my, it was just under, it was under this thing, which was behind me, and it was under a book. Object permeance. I do not have that. Anyways, let's get just back to what we were doing. Alright, so we just finished the bagels. Sourdough is still working. Don't need this anymore because that's done. Foccacia. We finished the focaccia that is resting at this. The rye bread, we're gonna still wait on that. Good, well, I want to get other things done first. The milk bread, that is done too. It looks like it's gonna, and it feels like it's gonna be a good success, so that's good. So the only two breads we have to work on is pretzels and AP bread, which are gonna turn into the Kaiser rolls today. Oh, anime lover, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribbles. Okay, wow, jeez, I'm still so many subscribers. Oh my god, I'm very happy with being at 500. I don't want any more than that. It's too many people. There's so many people to worry about. Oh my god. Oh god. I'm gonna worry about that later. Baking. We are baking today. Baking. Alright, okay. Pretzels. Let's work on pretzels right now. So the pretzel recipe is a very, 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 very close to the bagel recipe. So I'm actually gonna just, and it's also kind of enriched. In comparison to bagels, I like to make my pretzels a little enriched because there is a place here around where I live called Aunt Annie's, and they have the best kind of pretzels ever because they're so rich and buttery and soft, and I love them. So I like to base my recipe off of that idea. Like, yeah, you could have a nice dry pretzel with that nice crunchy crust, but I want, like, nice and soft, and fluffy and soft, and looking very beautiful at the same time. So, that being said now, I'm going to use... You could say that bagels and pretzels are kind of the same thing, because they're both boiled breads. They're both breads that you do inevitably boil, so... They're kind of the same, but not really, you know? One has a dangerous chemical, one is boiled in water, so there's that to keep in mind as well. So I am going to measure out 225 grams of milk. And I'm gonna really quickly just nuke it. Okay. And I'm gonna wait. For that, we are going to need 7 grams of yeast, or 1 packet of yeast. Oh yeah, if you didn't know, if you ever get like those small packets of yeast, those packets tend to be only around 7 grams. So if you ever don't feel like measuring something out and you want to get those packets of yeast, which are expensive, they are very expensive to get in comparison if you bought yeast in bulk in like those little small jars. You can do that, and it will be pre-measured and all ready for you, and you don't have to worry about measuring 7 grams. So that is a way you can do it, but you're paying for luxury because it's very, very costly. Or at least I think it is. In comparison to what you could buy if you buy like a little big thing of yeast. But that is also if you like, you know, if you probably don't bake that much. If you don't bake that much, then it makes sense. But if you bake a lot just as much as I do, it makes no sense, and why would you not buy in bulk? Okay. 432 grams of flour. Bread flour, once more. $432. Whoa! Look at himself. My bowl of bagels almost fell down to the ground. That would have been bad. Brown sugar, of course. Yeah, that's right. And if you're curious of what kind of brown sugar, it's dark brown sugar. Dark brown sugar is just always so much better. And especially, why would you use light brown sugar? Dark brown sugar has just such a much more rich flavor. And also, light brown sugar is just kind of like a weird in-between in my opinion. If you want that nice, rich flavor that dark brown sugar has, because it has that nice molasses, like dark, rich flavor, it's great. I don't know why you'd ever go for latter. I don't personally understand, but maybe there is a good reason to it. Maybe there's a chemical reason, like maybe there's too much molasses and makes stuff rise a little bit slower, but I don't know. I just know that I like using dark versus light. Flavor is just generally always better. Alright, there we go. Salt, butter. Oh yeah, 32 grams of butter. Well, I'm just gonna get this to the side now, because now I'm just kind of measuring the butter. I'll just use the same thing I used. Alright. I only need 32, so that's like almost like a tablespoon, give or take. So that's probably 32? Oh my god, that's perfect. I am so good. Alright, I don't think I'm gonna need the butter anymore today. Yeah, no more butter today. Goody goody. So, got the butter mix, got the butter, I got the flour, I think I got everything. Yeast and milk, flour, salt, sugar, and butter. Yeah, that's it. Gotta really quickly just mix everything with my lazy again. Make sure I also break down this brown sugar. A little clumpy. And that goes. Gonna start mixing. Mix. And this is a warning. Another warning for you all. It's gonna be loud in a few seconds. 3, 2, 1, it's turning on. Truly, it is one of the best things humans have ever made. It is one of the greatest inventions of humankind. A mixer. It really is. It makes things so much easier to make. It makes bread making so much more easier. It turns into like a necessity. It's like a good sharp knife. You want a really good sharp knife, and for something like this, you want something that works well and helps you like mix stuff really quickly. So then you can make more bread, or just because maybe you're lazy. But I love my mixer so much. It's so useful. Though I have been interested in the idea of a bread machine. I'm not exactly sure what a bread machine does. I'm not sure if it mixes bread for you, or bakes the bread for you, or proofs the bread for you, or does all of those things. But it's like, I'm interested, but I'm also not. It's like, It's like the don't fix what's not broken mentality, you know? That's not a spatula, that's my pen. Oh dear. I hope that's enough liquid. I'm looking at it now, it's like, man. Actually, no, that's like almost 50%. That's like fine, it should be fine. I'm gonna throw in this butter though, just to maybe soften it up a bit. Right. I'll do it just a bit more hand. You know what they say, the best tools you can ever be given in the kitchen are your hands. It really is funny of how useful your hands are in the kitchen. Like, other than a knife and like a wooden spoon and a rubber scraper, or rubber spatula, sorry, those are very important, but your hands are even more important. Not only do they control all those tools, but it's also good for scraping and measuring and feeling, and there's so much stuff that your hand just really does do. Alright, that's pretty. So now I'm gonna add butter and let it rock. Is this the one from the first place? Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, pretzel dough, and now we need one more bread that we need to get measured, and that is our all-purpose bread recipe. Alright, let's get that done. Then we might work on rye, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty happy and satisfied with my rye bread I made already. Oh, hi there, SDS. Hello, long time no see. How are you doing today? I'm doing very good. Thank you for the head pat. Thank you. We're baking a lot of bread today. We're doing a lot of bread baking. It has been a long time, has it not? Hello. Welcome in. I made half rye yesterday. Oh, that's funny. We also made rye yesterday as well. I can actually go get the bread too. Yeah, it was like a 50-50% of rye versus all-purpose, but it turned out really nice. It looked very pretty. I probably should post the pictures on YouTube as well. I already posted them on Twitter, but the rye turned out really good yesterday. That is fairly tough. I'm gonna roll off it. Oh my god, it is taking quite some time for it to get. Oh dear. Perhaps I should let it rest. Yeah, we'll let it rest. It's all kind of crumbly. I think the hydration might have been a little bit too low. Probably should have bumped it up a bit more. Well, we'll leave it at that for now. Maybe it'll come together as it rests. And it's probably just a little overworked right now. Right. That is our pretzel recipe. Right. Now, let's get to the most simplest of simple things. Come on. So I'm gonna measure out 250 grams of water. Oh, that was close. Yep, 250. 250 grams of water, and then we're gonna need only 5 grams? I'm going 7. I don't care what my recipe said. Oh, we're going for 7. Yeah, we're going for 7. Yep. 7 grams of that. 338 grams of flour. We have to put 30 grams of flour, 9 grams, really. Right, well, 9 grams of sugar. I guess Salty was trying to be very healthy with this, huh? Past Salty was trying to be very, very healthy with this bread. Alright, 7 grams of salt. And 21 grams of oil. I'm gonna use extra virgin. Okay, that. Our final bread to mix into this mixer, and then we don't have to listen to this horrible, horrible thing again. Both butter and olive oil? I mean, you could use a mix, but I am just personally just using olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil at that. Why, hello again. Oh my god, that's a book right there. I hate reading books. It's not like a rule that I have in chat, but it's like, okay, I'm gonna at least let y'all have an expectation of this. If you guys type out a whole story for me to read, I'm most likely not gonna read it. I do not have the attention span, so I unfortunately just really not gonna. But I will skim through it and just respond that way. Okay, what is the most frustrating thing in the kitchen? You see, I work with a lot of frustrating things in the kitchen, though, so trying to think about that. Like, what is the most frustrating thing to work with in the kitchen? I mean, I don't know. If anything, the most frustrating thing when I work in the kitchen is when there's other people. I am a person that likes working alone in the kitchen. If you want me to cook something for you today or tomorrow or the next day, you're gonna have to make me do that alone. I know what I'm doing. I like to work alone. I have my own style of working in the kitchen, and I know other people do as well. But I do try and make sure I want it done my way. I'm very strict when I'm at home and doing that. When I'm working or whatever it may be, then I'm gonna follow that head chef in a real professional commercial kitchen. But if we're at home and we're like relaxing and stuff, and it's like I kind of want to do it this way, and if you're saying like, oh, we gotta do it that way, I'll nod my head to you, but it's like if I have a very specific way of doing something, I'm gonna do it this specific way. A very good example of that is when I am going home, and I have a cousin who has celiac disease. So they don't eat bread. They cannot consume bread. They cannot consume any sort of gluten at all, which is kind of funny with how I am. They can't eat any gluten, so their parents are always so strict about, oh, we have to make sure we clean and sterilize everything, and oh my god, our child is going to die if we don't clean everything to a microscopic T. Meanwhile, I know how to do foodborne illness. I've taken the official test of making sure that everything is clean and all that such, so I know what I'm doing. So when they get on me and going like, make sure your kitchen is so clean, because I know we make so much bread, it's like, okay, go away. I know what I'm doing. So many times they're like saying, oh, make sure everything is clean. And it's like, no, you don't need to sterilize everything. First of all, gluten is a protein, it is not a fat, so sterilizing it with soap isn't going to really do that much. I mean, it's going to do it as much as you can, but you really just need a nice dry rag, a wet rag, and a little bit of soap. And then just... they make it too complicated. When at that same time, they don't need to make it complicated. They like to give themselves a lot more work than they need. Okay? That's their kitchen. And if they want to work harder for doing something that I can do at a much simpler pace, that's for them, not for me. They are silly, though. They are a silly bunch of cousins. Love them. They're silly. My one uncle, he's very, very weird and crazy, though. In a good way. In a good, bad way. He's very, very silly, and he always likes to talk a big game about himself, but he's also a little bit silly, like a little goofy in his head. He's not always thinking straight, I think. Like, sometimes I feel he's always drunk, funny enough. Is the best way I can really describe his personality. Because he always says, like, oh, back in my day, I used to do this and that, I used to cook so much food, and it's like, you know, if you cook that much food, then you would probably know about basic sanitation. And, like, oh, no, I was a doctor once. It's like, if you were a doctor once, you would know basic sanitation and anything then. And it's like, oh, but you see, with being a doctor, it's like, you gotta worry about this and that. And it's like, no, that is true. It does warp your perception, but, like, you know as a cook that people do survive, and you don't need to treat your kitchen like a surgical table, you know? You want to keep things as clean as possible, but... And also, maybe it's just because I am just a little bit biased in the sense of my cousin. They're a little annoying and a little rude, so it's like, I mean, I don't think I would care if I accidentally maybe spiked a little bit of gluten in their body, but I'm better than that, and I don't know, that just would make me feel bad. Alright, how's it looking? Still has a little bit more work to do. I hope that's gonna turn out well. The hydration should be fine, it's just more or less that it's really not that much to work with in the bowl. So it's not able to mix that much. This bowl is a lot bigger than my old one, my old mixer it used to be. So doing small quantity batches is really a little bit more difficult for it to do. So you know what? We're just gonna deal with what we got here and just put it up and I'll go with this. I'll do some shrimple. I'll do some simple shape and fold with it. You won't worry about it. Do you hear that? Do you hear that silence? Do you hear that quietness now? That's the sound of the mixer being finished for the day. I love my mixer. I know I was just going on about it and such like that, but when I'm at least streaming, I do care about the sound, and it's like, it's too loud. Anywho, let us now work on some new other things. Some more fun stuff. Some stuff that requires a bit of technique. Technique. It's all in the technique. Technique. Soft roll recipe I have. Now look at that. Over there. And let us now focus on the other things. So let's first work on that focaccia, yeah? This is starting to get a little bit more... You might want to work on that. But before that, I do want to get my focaccia ready first. So I have a properly sized sheet here. I'm going to take off some of my equipment on my right hand. And we are going to be shaping out this focaccia. Very simple. Focaccia is one of those things that's extremely easy to make. So I'm going to really quickly... By the way, if you don't have one of these Silhouette pads, do not worry. You can use tin foil, or you can use, which is probably better, is parchment paper. And I'm just going to... You would put your parchment down and oil the top of it. This is just so it doesn't stick to the bottom at all. We want to make sure it doesn't stick. The more it sticks, the more difficult it's going to be to work with. So we have our oiled thing right there. And now, I need to actually get some flour. Flour my surface right here, making sure that we won't have any stickage here. Because focaccia is going to be a very, very wet dough. I'll be very cautious about it. It's also very sticky. Gonna get my bowl scraper here and just kind of scrape it out of the bowl then. There we go. Good luck with focaccia. Gonna flour the top here as well. And just want to make sure it's nice and good and ready to go. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Feels like a good focaccia right there. Gonna really quickly shape it to the other side here. And we're just gonna actually just really quickly make it into a quick ball here by doing a little quick fold like how we were doing with sourdough yesterday. And it's really, really nice and soft, which is great. Now, we take it from point A to point B. Okay, I'm gonna now just gently press down on this dough. The thing about focaccia, it's something that you kind of work with as it's resting. So we're gonna try and work as much as we can with it right now, just get that ball rolling. But we're gonna have to probably come back to this like every few. I would recommend also, if you're gonna get to this phase, if you're at this phase of making focaccia, use some water. You don't really want to use oil. And you don't want to use flour. Flour is gonna just make it like cakey a little bit, cake up a little bit. So I'm just gonna get my hands just slightly wet, slightly. And I'm just gonna spread it out by just pinching and pushing. Pinch and push, pinch and push. So yeah, we're just gonna try and do that little technique. We only want to use our fingertips here. And right now I'm just trying to stretch and fold by just pinching and pulling. Alright, That's as much as it's gonna be right now. So now I'm gonna really just lightly oil it. Just lightly oil the top. And put this plastic wrap right on top. You all can keep an eye out for that as we start doing other things. Let me see. I want to show you the shaping. It's very, very important. It's the fun part of this. So now that I'm actually looking at it, I think it's a good time to actually get our sourdough ready to go. Or at least get the ball moving for it. Or at least get the ball rolling for it. So I have some cast irons right here. A double-sided cast iron. And I'm going to throw it into the oven so it can preheat and get hot. Usually you can wait around like half an hour, 1 hour so it gets to full temp and make sure that iron is nice and hot. But for me, I have a handy little tool right here. This thing right here is so great. It costed like $10. And essentially what it is an infrared thermometer. So I can just point this and it shoots out a laser and it will tell me the surface temperature of any sort of thing. So every so often I'm going to be checking my cast irons, pointing it at there, seeing how hot it is, and it will tell me how hot my cast irons are. It's very useful. So we're going to be worrying about the sourdough fairly soon. It should be up to room temp. So that later. But let's worry about that being my focaccia. Actually, I'm gonna flour my hand. I completely disregard what I said about not using flour. You can use whatever you want. Actually, it's been a while since I made focaccia, so I can't even remember what are the good or bad techniques here. All I know is just that at this point, though, you want to make sure that you're being very careful, because you don't want to really make holes. If you make holes like how I just did, there's no way to really fix this. There's going to be so much oil in this pan that it's going to be very difficult for it to actually get nice and... There's so much oil for it to actually... There's so much oil in this pan at this point, it's going to get really hard for it to come back together. So I'm just going to pinch it as best as I can, but it's probably going to come undone as it's resting. The goal of what we are trying to do at this point is to get this to fit the entirety of the bottom of this, which might be a bit difficult. Now it pan is slightly small for this sheet, but I believe. If not, I do have a bigger pan that we can instead. Yeah. And I actually might go grab that big pan. This little dip is actually going to get kind of annoying. I think this should be... Yeah, perfect. Fits. The idea hasn't changed though, we're just trying to stretch and pull this away so it gets a nice amount of space on each other. It's a bit of a pinch and pull. Focaccia is definitely one of those breads to where you can take your time with it. You don't have to rush it, so that you need to let it go, let it do its thing, and just trust the process. Let it rest, let it do its thing. Keep stretching and folding. Alright. Actually, I just realized we need to get stuff for the focaccia thing. Now, usually with focaccia, you can just bake it as is. You don't really need anything for focaccia. But whenever I make focaccia, I can't help myself. I have to go with the classic pairing of rosemary and garlic. So... I have went out and bought myself some rosemary that I'm going to use. And I have some garlic. I just gonna really quickly just kind of like kick it off. The way of how I like putting my rosemary on my focaccia, it's both very useful and very nice because it's a lazy way of doing it, but it's also a nice way for presentation because it makes it look just so nice. For me, when I think of focaccia with rosemary and garlic, I kind of like seeing the bits of rosemary. So I'm just trying to just really quickly just kind of just pull, like get to the top here and then pull down. And then you get the little sprigs of rosemary. Making me think though, I probably should grow some rosemary by time spring comes around. Definitely one of those things I want to start growing, just because it is a bit pricey. Rosemary, at least. Actually, to be fair, all herbs are really, really pricey. So, that really goes in either. Rosemary, herbs, all herbs are like really, really pricey. And then what I usually end up doing when I buy herbs is that I buy too much, and I end up just having it in my refrigerator for like a few weeks, and then next thing you know it, they all mold or get bad and soggy, and it's just sad to see. I'm contradicting myself a lot today, and I realize that, but a little bit of choppage can help a little bit. I like a nice coarse leaf anyway. I don't want it like nice and fine. I want it just slightly sliced. Slightly sliced. There you go. I'm gonna put this in a little container for now, and we will start to get the garlic. Alright, so I've gone and got out to go get myself a nice good bulb of garlic. Nice good bulb. And I think this might not be enough because I like putting a lot of garlic on my focaccia, but this should suffice at least. This should do enough. Alright. I'm also going to show you all a really cool trick when it comes to peeling garlic. Well, when you're peeling a lot of garlic. Because there are plenty of times when I'm in the kitchen and at the kitchen at my job, and we have to peel. Well, not even at my job. We don't do that. When I would get a lot of garlic at my school. That's a better thing of saying. Back at my school, when you would need to do a lot of garlic, we would have a lot of the clove fresh. So the easiest and best way to peel a bunch of garlic in bulk like this is a very strange method, but it works. I just have to make sure I'm getting... Oh wait, these are huge cloves. Oh my god. Yeah, that's one single clove, I think. Wow, that's huge. Is it one or is it two? I can't... No, that's one. Oh my god, that's... Okay, well, I was going to see if this was 2 cloves, but wow, that is one. No, it is 2 cloves. Hold on, I gotta get my little small utility. Yeah, that's 2 cloves. Icky. But anyways, for these smaller cloves that are kind of annoying to try and peel at this point, it's like, oh man, I just don't want to use my hands and individually peel each one because it's going to take way too much time. Well, a nice way of doing it is to make sure that you get every little bit of parchment you can. Although it's very often I would use I would use metal bowls. I find a bit of success if you use a plastic container as well. So all I'm doing now is just kind of getting this into a plastic container, close the lid, and shaking it. So okay, so I guess maybe my memory isn't serving me correctly then. I guess it is. Okay, I remember I did it once with plastic containers. Here, let me go get a metal bowl then. Maybe that's probably the truth. It would make more sense with metal too. Okay, well, I have a metal bowl. Usually you would get 2 metal bowls, but all my metal bowls are either dirty or being cleaned or being used, so instead, I'm gonna get a plate. Alright, small bowl, plate. And some of your clothes will get... I guess that trick doesn't work. Hi, Billy mate. No. Like, I feel like I'm just like an infomercial. And it's like, you know, when those infomercials, they go wrong because they're all very much set up in a way to make it seem like they work really well. I feel like this is that point in time to when they fail. Very reminiscent of that. Have you ever seen those, like, bloopers and such? Ever seen those bloopers to where it's like, oh, hey, we're here to sell this thing, and then they say like, oh, so this can pick up things and do whatever you want, but then when they try and do it live on action, it just doesn't do what it's supposed to be doing. It's like, oh, well, sorry about that. This one is just a prototype and stuff like that. Hi there, Don't. Sorry that took so long to see you, but hi there, Don't. Oh, hi. You still need to fix the prep list. Yeah, I know, Salmon, I know. I'm gonna peel this garlic first, and then I will actually I'll update the prep list. Funny enough, it's not wrong, though. We still have to make milk bread, so that is something we still have to do. But yeah, the prep list does need to get fixed. I just wanted to get started with baking because I was just kind of really excited just to get back to baking. It's one of those things that's very, very relaxing for me to do, even though that for some people they think it's either very stressful or whatever it may be. But baking for me is so easy for me at this point. It's relaxing, and I like just doing it because it's fun. Wouldn't it take rather violent shaking? Yeah. Maybe that's probably why it hasn't been peeling off correctly. I wasn't shaking violently enough, and, you know, that's also a possibility. That's very much a possibility that could be going on right now, too. I'm just not strong enough. You see, it's not the technique, it's just that I'm not strong enough, so, there's a skill issue on my front. I'm not sure if that makes me look any better, though. I'm not strong enough to shake off the skins of the garlic. But I'm not in a rush right now. Peeling off every little bit of clove of garlic is not something I'm, like, dreading. Woo! I just caught that with my leg! Almost touched the floor there. Okay, now the garlic. The garlic, I do want to pre-cook. If I put raw garlic on the focaccia when it is time to go, it's going to be it's still going to have that garlic bite to it. Eating raw garlic is very healthy for you, but just because it's healthy does not mean I want to eat it raw. So I'm going to use some extra virgin olive oil, just a little bit. And we're just gonna really quickly fry it. But not like fry it hard, we're just gonna do a light fry. We're gonna do like a light confit if you... Oh, we're gonna put that on the back burner, just so I have more space to work with. Okay, we have all that done. I'm gonna use my gun and check out the temperature of my pans. 500 degrees. That is what we are looking for. Usually you can just wait. You can just wait for like an hour or two, and that will just be good enough time. But I don't want to just wait half an hour when I know it's gonna be done a lot sooner. All right. So I'm gonna need some plastic wrap, parchment paper, my goodness. And I'm gonna remove the bread from its plastic prison. Gonna put on top, and now I'm gonna get a razor. I'm gonna get my oven mitt. And now I'm just slightly back more. Pull this out. Alright. First bread we're baking today. Let's go. Gotta get my razor out. And I'm just gonna do a quick flip. Well, maybe a not so quick flip, but a gentle flip. Just gonna tap the bottom. Good luck. It's a good luck thing. Now I just gotta very carefully lift it up. Yeah, I didn't flour it enough, boy. Yeah, when your bread sticks like this, that's not usually a good thing. That means you didn't. I didn't put enough flour on it. Well, I think we can salvage it still. It'll be fine. I take back what I said. It does not feel fine. Oh boy. Yeah, this boy is sticking hard here. Alright, well. Alright, this is what we gotta do. Aw, this is painful. This sucks. Oh no. Yeah, alright. We're gonna have to do a reshaping of it. Oh, that's why, because it's also too wet on the bottom. Oh my god. Yeah, that's my fault. I probably shaped it nicely and all that such, but I didn't put enough flour on it, which is the fatal flaw for this now. It's fine. All I have to do now is just kind of reshape it. But man, that sucks. And also what makes it worse is now it's sticking to the paper. Oh dear. Alright. We'll do a reshape on it. No problem. But with a reshape, that means we're going to have to let it rest again. We don't need to rest it overnight, because the reason why we would want to rest it overnight is because of flavor. So, just going to let it bench rest. There we go. Gonna flour it very generously this time. Very generous. And now, that should be good. Yeah, I gotta go and really make sure I wash this out. Well, not wash it. I'm gonna make sure I scrape all the dough off. Actually, probably it's best to let this dry out. And I gotta throw away that parchment too. Well, at the very least now, I could just use my smaller bowl, which is because it's a nice rounder shape, so I can make a bowl instead of the other thing. Get a nice bit of flour there. Flour this really nicely as well. This time it's not gonna stick. It shouldn't at least. Nice and floured. This is nice and floured as well. Now, into the bowl. There we are. We're just gonna let that boy rest, and we'll have it to the side. We will bake the sourdough today. We will bake it. Well, now we gotta turn the oven down, because despite the sourdough now needing more time, so we're gonna probably bake it a lot later today. We are just going to move this to the side and continue the baking. The show must go on, is what they would say. Okay, so the garlic is getting nicely. I'll flip them. I want to make sure they're gonna get nicely cooked here. And now I think I'm gonna go get that focaccia. Here we are. Looking good, it's looking good. Alright. I think it's at this point where I'm gonna confidently just oil the top of it. Because now we're getting to that point to where it's the end game. This is where we want to just be very careful. Yeah, it's nicely proofed at this point. Has a nice feel to it. Fluffy and soft. But now this is also the point in time to when I'm going to just like gently spread it across into the pan and oil it very heavily. When you make focaccia, or when focaccia is made, you tend to get it very, very oily, because the top of the oil is going to be used to essentially help cook the dough. You're essentially frying focaccia, and it's a wonderful thing. And it gets into the dough, and it's so flavorful and delicious, and so good. Okay. Now I'm gonna sprinkle in my rosemary. I'm gonna try to use it all. There we go. Good. Yeah, now at this point, we're just letting that rest. We gotta let that do its final proofing, which is now what it's going for. And I'm gonna actually go right here, because the oven is still slightly warm, so it'll rise a lot more quickly. Just give it a bit of a quick another thing of oil, because the more oil, the more flavor is gonna be. It's gonna be great. And we just gotta wait for the garlic to just confit at this point. We gotta let that cook. Yeah. Oh, also remind me, because I know I'm gonna forget. I like to always put a nice sprinkling of salt before it goes in the oven. It helps bring out the flavors and aroma from the bread and the herbs and the garlic. It's so great. So, gotta make sure I do that as well. Okay. Let's see. I suppose we should check on the pretzels. The pretzels are very, very... I feel like the pretzels might need a bit more... Yeah, they're very dry. Very, very dry. I think this could be more passed as a bagel, honestly. That's fine. There we go. I'm gonna let him rest a bit more. Is this the bagel or is this milk bread? I don't actually. It probably would help if I actually labeled this. I'm going with intuition here. That's bagels. These are bagels. Yeah, it feels like a bagel, it looks like a bagel, it smells like bagels. Alright. We're gonna get into the next phase of bagel making. It's shaped. It's good enough. Do I? No, I haven't done. There. Oh, that's not it. Oh, there it is. Alright, cool. So, I got myself another tray here, the same tray, and a different thing of the syrup. I don't know what it's called. Silat, yeah. So now, I'm going to be making and shaping the bagels. And I believe I've shown this off before, so there's not really too much explanation here. I'm just going to be shaping out these doughs individually to 120 grams at least. I find that if I go any more than that, like 150, the bagels tend to be too big for my liking. Of course, if you want to do a bigger bagel, then you're more than welcome to. 125 is good enough. I think it's 120. But if I do 120, I should get like, this should be enough for 6 bagels. $148. 125, there we go. Yeah, 120. That is going to be the number you want to go. So at least that's what I'm going. There we go. That one garlic is good. There we go. I'll flip this around. And while that's working, I'll start rolling out these bagels. And also I gotta take some of these bracelets off. They're actually getting in the way. Alright. So making bagels is actually very simple. Making the roll at least. There's 2 ways to do it. This is my favorite way to do it, and I believe this is the New York style. So rolling it into a log. A pretty average, like nice long size log here. And then what you want to do, really quickly squeeze out any air bubbles I feel. Roll it till it's nice and smooth again. Move dough. Then I want to get one side, put it on top here. And then one quick roll, and that breaks, but that puts the seam together. And do it one more time, just to make sure that is a good seam. There we go. That's our bagel. Now I just gotta do that 5 more times. At this point, when we're done with the bagels, that should get the garlic finished. Garlic is finished, then we can throw it in the oven with the Alright. I'm very excited to make bagels today. It's been so long since I've actually last made a bagel. Bagels are one of those things where it's like I've always really just want to buy them in the store. Not only because they're convenient, but usually the quality for bagels are usually pretty good. Get them store bought. But it's that stupid mentality I have of like, oh yeah, I want to make all my bread. I don't like buying bread anymore. It's that annoying mentality that's the death of me. Like, I just want to go buy a bagel, but I can't go buy a bagel unless it's like a nice bagel bakery. And there is a bagel bakery that does exist around where I live, it's just that every single time I want to go to it, it's closed. So, it's always on the weekend that it's closed, or it's closed and I'm getting out of work, and then next thing you know, it's just like, well, I can't get the bagel. No bagels today. Maybe another time, but hey. Here we are. These are going to be our bagels. We're going to let them rest now. And just like with everything, I'm just going to make a really quick really quick thing of plastic wrap on top. Here we go. I'll throw this off to the side so it can rest. It's almost final proofing. Right? Well, now the garlic is nicely roasted. Slightly golden brown, but not completely cooked all the way, because the garlic is going to cook on the focaccia. Fortunately, I gotta be very sparing with my garlic because I don't got enough of it, so can't that much, unfortunately. Sad day in my focaccia making today, to where I'm very limited to the amount of garlic I got. At least I got garlic on my focaccia though. That's what I'm happy. Oh, love garlic. Okay, there we are. Perfectly done. And now I'm gonna really quickly put a nice sprinkle of salt. Alright, we have any goes. Okay, that should take around 10 minutes to do. And then we'll check for 10 minutes, and we might need to give it more, 5 more, but I think 10 minutes should. Alright. The milk bread, I suppose we can do the milk bread now. The milk bread, I'm going to do the same thing we did yesterday. And then I'm just going to flour my surface very lightly with flour. And turn it on to the workplace. It definitely feels nice and soft. It feels a lot better now. So I'm going to just do that same thing I was doing yesterday. Gotta get my container. I'm just gonna gently press and like stretch. Press and stretch. Oh, almost forgot. I gotta make sure I spray it. Don't want it sticking in there. Right? And as with everything, a quick little bit of plastic wrap. I'll just like everything, put it aside. Okay, what else do we have? What else? Suppose we should work on the Kaiser rolls, if anything. our all-purpose bread recipe. They are. They're looking pretty good. They definitely risen a lot. Whoa. I think they might even be overproofed. Oh boy. Definitely gonna need some flour. Gotta get a bowl scraper again. Alright. Here we go. Flouring the surface. Same old song and same old dance. There you go. You are kind of treating it like if it was a sourdough. Making sure it's nicely shaped. Just so it's... the gluten's nicely developed. There you go. I'm gonna really quickly flour the surface again. And we'll let it just sit here for a moment. Alright. Kaiser rolls, though. That is what we're gonna make them into. They are multi-purpose. So I want to make sure their purpose is going to be used for a Kaiser roll. I gotta get my book real quick, so I gotta clean my hands again. Alright. Let's see. Rye. Oh, that's pizza. Close. There they are. No, that's garlic knots. English muffins, hoagies, Kaisers. Okay. So. I'm gonna use probably something that's around 120. 170, that's a bit too much. 120, there we go. And I actually need more parchment paper. Okay, so for this, I need to roll it out and do a strip and then do a single knot roll. Yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a learning experience for me now, because now I'm doing something I've never really done. I've made plenty of rolls before in my life, but making a roll like this I have not done. Stretched it out. Now, apparently, I'm supposed to single knot. I'm just gonna do that. One single knot. And then okay, one single knot like this. Oh, I need more space. Come on, get bigger. So one simple up, over and under. And then flip, go under again. Really just that simple? Okay, well apparently that's supposed to be a Kaiser roll, but I don't really see it. Let me try that again. Because it just looks like I'm just supposed to do a 1 flip, 2 flip. So, let me try that again. One roll, and another one, another one. And apparently I just get under, like this. That's our Kaiser roll, apparently. It's almost like a double knot. You know what, that's fine. You know, I can kind of see it there. Alright, well, I'll trust the process here and I'll go with that. Alright, thank you both. Huh, looks like there's only 2 minutes left on the other bread, though. Won't be long. Yeah, I'm unfortunately just being a little quiet right now. I want to focus on, especially with like bread shaping and stuff like that. That is something I know I have a bit of difficulty learning. So I apologize. I do want to try and focus, and I want to see if I can do it correctly. Doing some experimentations, if you will. Because I know that this recipe is going to taste good. This all-purpose bread recipe I'm not too worried about, so I don't really mind. It's just I am still trying to make sure I do this. Just because I'm just a perfectionist. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. I need a bit of flour. Yeah, that, I can already oh, and just like that, I'm just like looking at my wrist and go like, oh, what time? And it's apparently already done, the focaccia. Alright, take a look here. Ooh. It definitely does need a bit more time. But, ooh, that looks... Go. Definitely probably gonna need 10 more minutes. But I will check it again in 5, just to be sure. Under and Kaiser, one more, so start over again. Okay, I gotta do better at this. Wait. More. Okay. Now I just gotta let these rest now. They're nicely shaped at this point. Gotta let them rest. And I feel like I need to get a bigger pan. not big enough. Right, gotta shape these last ones, and we should be done with the Kaisers. Yeah, they all do look a little different, so I'm definitely gonna have to work on this shaping. But man, this is fairly challenging, making a Kaiser roll. Not really the dough making. The dough making is the easy part, but shaping it is a very tricky process here. Either way around it, it should taste great either way. Which is what's probably more important. It'll be very good to make a roast beef sandwich with it. Get some cheese. Nice roast. Maybe some lettuce and caramelized onion. Ooh. Okay, that looks. Don't know where to put it on. Okay. Anywhere else to put it, unfortunately. I'll just have it resting on its own piece of parchment. Yep. And as everything, I'm gonna get a towel this time because I don't want to waste more plastic. And I'll just let that rest. Probably not gonna take too long to rest because they are rising really quickly. Alright. Speaking of rising quickly though, I think the next thing we should probably work on is the bagels. Bagels, yeah. Because they are rising really quickly and rapidly. So we want to make sure we get those done too. Because making bagels, they are very much on a time crunch. You kind of want to follow their schedule. They have a specific way of going, so if they need more time or less time, you can't really give them more time. You gotta give them less time, well, you can't give them less time. You need to make sure that you're very precise with bagels. Or at least, I have to, because I'm baking 20 other things as well. So there's that I gotta worry about, unfortunately. But I can do that. I just need to get a pot of water. I should be measuring how much water I'm putting into this, but I can kind of guesstimate how much I'm putting. Because for... And that can work. There we go. So I've been told that what I usually do for bagels is ridiculous, in the sense that it's redundant on what I do with it. However, I do find that there is a nice change of flavor and a nice change of color. So usually, when I make bagels, I don't poach them in a baking soda solution because I just don't like it. There has been times where I have done that and it's like a little bit too soapy, and you know, maybe that's because I add too much baking soda. But I find that you don't really need baking soda. You can just boil it in water and you're completely fine and dandy. But that being said, I do like putting in either honey or what I'm doing for today, malt syrup. It adds a nice flavor, it adds a subtle sweetness, and it's fun to use when poaching a bagel. So I'm gonna just put a little teaspoon at least of of this malt syrup in. Yeah, malt syrup, and they're just gonna mix it in until the water changes color. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna put my malt syrup away because I'm pretty much done with it for now. I'm gonna need it later when I poach the pretzels, but now I can put it away. Let's take a real quick gander at our pretzels, though, because they are getting close. They're in fact right here, and they look like they're resting a bit more, and definitely risen a bit. I think I definitely want to give it more time to rise, but I am gonna at least take at least a little bit so I can do a quick tester. 150. I'm gonna try to do a 150. That's good. 133. Sure. Smaller is less is more. That's what they say, right? Okay, so making a pretzel. Oh boy. First and foremost, yeah, this recipe is a little bit too dry. We are definitely going to come back with a pretzel recipe. This is not good. I'll still try and boil this one off and see how it turns out. Maybe I'm just, what's the word? I'm just judging a book by its cover way too early. Anyway, around it, I gotta still roll it out, and from that, I gotta do the funny knot. I think I've done it once to doing like that cool way of knotting it to where it gets into the perfect pretzel knot. I've done it once, but I don't think I've ever really tried to do it again because pretzels are one of those things I do not take too much thought to making. But before I do that, it looks like my, what is it? The Foccacia might be coming soon. Well, I gotta let that rest. Because at this point, the timer is going off. And let's check out this Foccacia. Ooh. That looks good. Ta-da! Look at that! So nice looking. This camera isn't doing its justice, but it is a lovely golden brown, and that garlic is so nicely roasted too. There's a nice strong scent of the aromatic rosemary. Looks very good. So I'm gonna let this cool off for now. We'll tackle it another. It looks so good. I'm hungry. Alright, try this pretzel again. So, I think I'm just it's way too dry. I don't think I'm going to be able to do so I'm going to do it how unprofessionals would do it, because I am not a professional. I'm just going to put it under like this, twist it, stop, then flip it. There we go, pretzel. But it's a little big, so I'm gonna do it again. Flip, twist, flip again. Yeah, this is so dry. That's the issue with this thing. Also, I'm probably not doing this right, but it's also just so dry. The smooth feeling dough, it feels very nice and smooth, but so dry. So hard to make it long without it wanting to tear. Oh. I think that's pretzel enough. You think that looks like a pretzel? I think that's pretzel-y enough. I'm gonna leave it like this and then... Cute. It's a small little guy. You know what? I can't fault it. I'll just lay it over here. Change for our bagels. Because now it's time to do the bagels. The focaccia came out, so we're not worried about something in the oven now. Take up space. And these bagels are nice and poofy. Now with bagels, I will go out and admit and say that I don't really check if they're proofed all the way or not. Usually with bagels, I just check that they're doubled in size. Because bagels are not something that you really want to be airy and fluffy. They're more, you more or less want them nice and chewy and like, you know, have that nice signature like bagel texture on it. So I don't really worry about too much about proofing them. I still want to let them rest and let them double in size because they get bigger and not as dense. Just a little bit airy, a little bit of airiness. Not too much. And I also have the feeling I should have oiled the tray here. Because now the bagels are unfortunately sticking. Alright. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna get a spatula. And I'm just gonna scrape at the bottom and throw them in. There we go. Freed. Freed at last. Great timing too, because now the water is pretty much getting there. It's almost ready to the liquid to where we can poach them. And we usually want to, I usually like to poach my bagels 30 seconds aside. So a minute all together, but 30 seconds, 30 seconds. I'm also going to get a piece of paper towel so it has somewhere to land and dry off. Before we bake them, we are going to want to dry them off, so it's very important we do. Do I have everything seed? I do. Alright. I'm gonna make some everything bagels as well. A few everything, a few plain, you know. I wish I had my fixed sugar, like the sugar that I used to make the chong. Because that sugar is used to make sugar bagels, and kind of regretting I didn't save some. Yeah, we are kind of just waiting for this water to get boiling at this point. Are those donuts or bagels? They are bagels. They are bagels. We're gonna be poaching them because that's what you usually do with bagels. Bagels are weird. You do boil them a little bit and then you bake them off. They're strange, but hey, it's good. More punch. No more punch. No punch. We don't punch here. No, no, no. That's no. No punch. Oh, yeah, as we're waiting, I can actually change the prep list. Okay. Got the bread, sourdough, Foccacia done. Iser. Those are not pretzel test. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that water is now boiling, so that's a definite good sign. Fires is okay. Well, I'm going to get my watch out and start going for 30 seconds. And then I'm gonna get a tool here, a spider, and then flip, and then make sure I do 30 seconds aside, evenly, of course. I know it's very strange to boil bagels and such, but this is how they're done. They're either fried, boiled, or steamed. I'm not sure about the fried. I've heard they've been fried, but I know they have definitely been. They are definitely steamed as well, just due to speed. Right, another 30 seconds, and we are done with that one bagel. I wish I had a bigger pot, but unfortunately, I gotta make do with what I got. Or not a bigger one, but a more wider one. A lot more surface area and a lot less height. But this is the biggest one I got, so gotta deal with what I get. Why does boiling them briefly make a difference? That's a good question. And actually an answer I know of. So hold on, give me a sec. I actually know the answer to this, which is very rare when it comes to baking knowledge. But this is something I actually do know, because I actually looked this up. So, the reason to why you boil bagels is to give them that signature bagel texture. If you know what I'm talking about, look at a bagel and then look at a normal piece of bread. The crust is significantly different. A bagel is a lot more, how would you say it? It's a lot more waxy. It has a much more waxy texture in comparison to a bread, which is a lot more crusty and crumbly. So, doing this, boiling them, helps them gain that lovely, lovely texture that bagels are notoriously known for having. So yes, that's why. Good question. You get an A+. You get a gift sub when I am at my computer desk. Remind me about that. Remind me, I will gift you a sub. But if you don't remind me and I don't remember it, I'm not giving you it. So, remind me. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I put these bagels on a different tray. If I bake them on the same tray that I intend on putting them on, they're gonna get together and then it'll be really, really weird. So I'm gonna try to make sure I just got the focaccia one, and rubbing it down, wiping it off, and we're gonna use that. Oh, to multitask and do so much at once. Oh boy. I am running out of counter space here, and that's not exactly a good thing. To be in a small kitchen like the... Okay. Hope this is gonna give them a... I don't want them to be too close to each other. That's just gonna be me wasting a lot of bagels here. Alright, these last three, I'm gonna make sure I put the everything seasoning on. Great. And now we just got one more. Cool. This should be enough. I keep telling myself that. Oh yeah, no, that's not gonna be enough. Not enough to do 6, but I can definitely do 5. So. Alright, well, without further ado with these bagels, they're going to go straight in the oven. 375, and they're going to go in for 15 minutes. And unfortunately, this one little bagel is being behind. Eventually, he will be baked. But he has to be patient and wait. What happened to that one piece of parchment? I believe I had an extra piece. What happened to it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, today I knew it was going to be a little bit more challenging than yesterday. With yesterday, it was very straightforward and easy, and although today is also equally as easy, it's also difficult in its own way, because in a sense, we're doing a lot more pastries, we're doing a lot more baked goods than we did than yesterday. Because yesterday we only made like 5 loaves of bread. Today we're making technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7... 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 loaves. Not loaves, but 12 kinds of breads. They require their own special bit of attention that makes it a bit more difficult, but it should be fine. I should be fine. If you're ever doing something like this, make sure you just sit down and do one recipe. It is a bit challenging to try and do and juggle so many recipes at once, and especially when a lot of them are experimental, but I don't know, I'm not smart. I like to challenge myself recklessly. What was I gonna do now? Oh, go away, Siri. Oh. Hello, Laura Cook. Laura Cook? That's nice. That's a nice name. Hello there. They just subscribed to the channel. Wow, wow. Alright. I don't know what else we can do. I guess I could get the Kaiser roll. Oh yeah, these are definitely ready. Look at these boys. Very big and puffy at this point. Do I have a bigger tray? Smaller tray. Oh yeah, the bigger tray, okay. Alright. Be very delicate with this here. I don't want to ruin the proof here. They're really nice and airy right now, so I'm going to be very careful. There we go. Right. Okay. Good, good, good. Okay, so Kaiser rolls tend to have a bit of a different sort of... tend to have a topping on top. They usually have poppy seeds and such. I think I could just use water, so let me check my book real quick. Albedo, hello there. Hi there, hello, hello. Okay. With egg mixture. Egg mixture. Is it like... what's the egg mixture? Ah, okay, it just went... It's just a bit of egg with a bit of water as well. That's an egg. So I'm gonna just get one little teaspoon of egg, because there's not many rolls here. No need to try and use a whole lot of... Use egg yolk here. And then light and very much dilute it. Why did you put my friend on timeout for asking relationship advice? And they said sorry. Because I don't... To say simply, I do not care. This is not the channel for that. This is a baking channel. If you have relationship advice, I am not the person to ask. I am the worst person to ask, actually. I'm not comfortable with answering those things. They are being very persistent. They would not go back down. So we timed them out for 24 hours. They are not banned, and I can't undo timeouts. So please, do not follow suit, because if you do the same thing, I'm going to time you out as well. Please, do not. And they said they stopped. Well, I can't really undo a timeout. They're timed out for 24 hours, so they will be back and they will be able to talk maybe in a few. But a lesson needs to be learned, and if you have to get timed out for 24 hours, I'm going to time you out. They were crying for help. Well, I don't know what to do. This is a simple YouTube channel about baking. I would like to ask now that you completely drop this subject, or I'm going to time you out as well. This is not my territory to talk about this sort of stuff. Please, if you need some help, go to your crisis center, go to a psychologist, your therapist, go talk to a emergency line or whatever it may be. I am not the person to ask with relationship advice or anything among that. That is your life. I cannot control your life, and I don't have any advice to give you, because myself, I don't need anything. I mean, I need that advice too. So I cannot help you. You're my favorite streamer. I'm not sure if you're trying to suck up to me, but just because you say that does not mean I'm gonna help you. I'm sorry, I have my own problems to worry about as well, as a person, because yes, I am a streamer, I guess. I'm a VTuber, I guess, but I don't know how to treat relationships. I am not a love doctor, I'm never going to be, so I cannot help you. That's your last warning. Please do not talk about this anymore. These things are really, really poofy. Goodness. kind of make me a little worried, though. I'm not sure if they're actually going to bake correctly. I kind of wonder if they're going to be actually really airy even, but I'll kind of wait and see. Wait and find out, if you will. Okay, so Kaiser rolls. From what my thing was telling me, my book, they are not seasoned. They are topped with poppy seed, so I shall do the same. There we go. Very flat looking. Yep. And now, I must simply, once more, wait. Again, it's only gonna be like 4 minutes. 4 minutes? 4 minutes? A minute 20 seconds. So, not too long we have to wait. So, I just gotta wait a bit of time until bagels are coming out. Well, regardless if they want to come out or not, I gotta actually give them a bit more time. I just took a quick gander, took a quick peek inside, and I think they're gonna need 6 minutes. At that same time, I'm actually going to move a rack up, and I am going to actually start baking those Kaiser rolls. In you go. Okay, 6 minutes. Let's see here. What else am I missing? What other breads are we missing right now? The bagels we just finished, or are finishing. The pretzels we gotta do. The milk bread we also gotta do. The focaccia's done. Oh, let's go check the focaccia. I am quite hungry, so I'd like to begin with a little bit of that. There we go. So, I gotta take a picture of this real quick. It looks very... Oh, stop that. Picture time. Oh no. My phone decided to completely just jump onto bagel. This bagel's just gonna be kind of lopsided now. Oh dear. I probably should invest into something that actually can hold a phone up, not just like a few pieces of tape, because that's currently how I'm holding my phone right now. A few pieces of tape. Not much. Right? Yeah, the focaccia looks very good. I'm actually gonna cut a piece off and see. It's already cooled off at this point, and that's just due to how thin it is. But, wow, that's a pretty good crumb. Pretty nice. It looks very nice and tight. Very good crumb. And actually, just because I just realized, there isn't much garlic on this slice of focaccia, but this is garlic oil at this point. It's going to be lightly perfumed garlic oil. So I'm actually going to put that in a container, and it's surprisingly cooled down. But now I'm just going to dip it into my oil here to make up for that bit of missing garlic. Alright. I'm gonna try it here. Be nice and crunchy. Let's see. It's very crisp on the outside, but nice and fluffy on the inside. How a good focaccia should be, honestly. And there's not much garlic flavor on the bread itself, but that nice little bit of oil that's been fermented with garlic. Not fermented, been steeped in with that garlic is very nice. Helps make up. Hi there, potato. Hello. Hi, broccoli. Hi. Yeah, I'm just gonna eat this whole thing of this whole big old thing of focaccia now. I'm hungry. I need to eat something. Are you a femboy? No, I'm not. I am not a femboy. I am a soft boy. I think they're different from each other. I've been told that they're different from each other, I think. I'm not a femboy. I'm not a femboy. Did it flavor the oil even though the garlic was whole? Yeah, it did. It's very, very light, the flavor of garlic. It's light, it's still there, it's very subtle, but there's still that nice flavor of sweet and flavored garlic in the oil. It's good. It pairs well with my focaccia right now. Salty hungry. I should make an emote for that, shouldn't I? Try and make an emote that conveys someone being hungry, yeah? That would be good, yeah? I'll make that a follower emote on Twitch, too. I'll get to working on that. Eventually. Alright. The bagels are almost done. I just checked them. They need to go for 5 more minutes. Wait, oh no. You know what that means. What do you mean? Being a soft boy? No. I know being a femboy implies that I'm more feminine than a boy. But I'm not. Though someone did tell me that I was kind of more of a soft boy, which is like a guy that's just not as manly. Which is, I think, kind of, say that out loud, it is kind of still like a femboy, but I'm still not very, I don't try to be very feminine. I'm just accidentally so. I don't know. Ish. I love making people question their existence. I mean, I question my existence every single day. So, I mean, I'm not sure what you're looking for. In that regard, at least. Gotta lift the door more, bro. I do. I lift enough, though. I don't need to do more. There's plenty of. Like, we made milk bread today. Speaking of which, it's good. Yeah, we made milk bread yesterday and brioche, and we did a whole bunch of other things as well that I just can't remember right now. We did rye bread, we did focaccia stuff, we did rye bread, I think I already said that, but we did a lot yesterday. We did a lot of things, all things considered. And right now I gotta actually refill my, oh, well, that again. Gotta put stuff into my dishwasher. Yeah, we're at that point of time again, just like yesterday's stream, to where we're just kind of waiting around, waiting for something to happen. There's not much to do right now, so I'm just going to do some maintenance right now. Home maintenance, if you will. Alright. Throw it in pots, my pans, my bowls. Certainly got a lot of bowls I need to put in. Oh boy, okay, well... Alright, okay, Mr. Funny Guy. Oh. How do I ban? Alright, well, you're gonna get hit. I'm out. 24 hours easy. I'll get back to you in just a minute. People think they're real funny. I'll lift more dough, bro. Alright, that should be good. You know what? I'll give it to the person. If they come back and they're committed enough to commit to the bit and come back to a stream when they're not timed out, I will respect it and I will ban them accordingly. But I believe in redemption. Ooh, those are good. Alright. Here are our bagels. Look at those. Very nice. Very nice. They look like bagels. They feel like bagels. Ooh. They're really nice. Good. Good, good, good. Look at those. Pretty nice bagels. I gotta put it over here again. I got no space. Especially now that I have my focaccia just like sitting around over here. Ugh. Oh man, I need to try to make bagels. You should! Bagels are fun to make. They're relatively simple. Relatively. But they are fun to make. I would recommend you try and make some. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, let's see. Will you fit on here? Good enough. Alright. Okay, I now have to do one more thing. I've never had a bagel. You've never had a bagel before? I mean, okay, if you're in like a more European country, then I can kind of see it, because I hear they're not very common over there. I get that, I guess, but man, that's sad. You should try and make one. Bagels are not that hard to make. They're actually really easy to make since they're a lot more of a dry dough. They're less hydration. They're easier to knead. They're easy to make. The only thing that makes it hard is probably taking them in and taking them out of poaching liquid, so probably the hardest thing. But bagels are relatively simple to make. They're not hard. Of all the like entry level breads to make, like white bread versus like white bread, pretzels are kind of intermediate in the means of skill. But I do recommend you try and make them. They are fun. Alright, well now I'm just gonna take this time to clean up a bit. I got plenty of stuff in my sink I need to clear out at this point. Not gonna get cleaner by just looking at it. Definitely thinking right now though, because now that I have a bagel, my first thing I think about when I have a bagel is that I want to make a bagel sandwich now. Like get a nice fried egg. I have some Spam, so I can just cook up some Spam, like give it a quick stir, a pan, a quick breakfast bagel sandwich, even though that it is 2:03. Still, I want to do that because I love myself a good bagel sandwich. Alright. Timer. And that's good for the Kaisers. They're okay. They just kind of look like really good rolls, though. They look like really good rolls. Take a little gander. Pretty good, though. They look cool. They look nice. Probably need a little bit of work on them, but yeah, they're good. I like them. Ugh, scary. I will try to make some. Alright, good luck to you, Salmon. Oh, I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm not sure if you're gonna be susceptible to cannibalism of your own kind. But, bagels. Smoked salmon, cream cheese, and a bit of capers. Those are really, really good on some nice, good old bagels. So, if you somehow have smoked and killed your own kind of salmon, and you put that on a bagel, really good. Delicious. And I was actually trying to think too that I wanted to make some French toast today as well. But I'm not sure if I really want to. I might do that tomorrow. So I'm probably not gonna be streaming tomorrow, maybe. Maybe? I might stream later in the day tomorrow, but I'm not sure. I still gotta figure that out. But I might stream tomorrow. I'm gonna probably make the next week's schedule within today, sometime soon. So keep an eye out for that on Twitter, on the community post on YouTube, wherever it may be, or my Discord as well. I don't know. You'll find it eventually. If not you, I will definitely be, you'll definitely see the stream pop up eventually. So, if not, you'll see that at least. Ooh. Yeah, not a true Kaiser roll that I'm at least familiar with, but these do look kind of cute. They look very simple. And that's all I really would want for a roll like this. Get some nice mayo or cream cheese. Probably get some roast. I already said, like roast beef, caramelized onion, cheese, the whole works. Since they kind of go in at the relative same time together, I'm going to throw the bagel and this extra Kaiser roll I have into the oven, and we're gonna just take them off and see. Well, not see what happens, but just bake them off and finish them, and then get on to the next. Cannibalism is okay in moderation. That certainly is a statement. You know, thinking about cannibalism, really strange thing to just go and jump off and say, but thinking about cannibalism for a moment, have you ever thought about the idea of if you were to eat a monkey? Like, if you were able to eat a monkey, a gorilla, or any sort of primate, would you consider that cannibalism, or would you just consider that just being, not natural selection, but just being like a normal meat to eat? What would you think? Do we have a quote bot to record that in? I think we actually do. I think it's exclamation point and quote, and then you just write down the quote. I can't remember, but I remember a long time ago we did have a quote thing, so. In a galaxy far away, we had the ability to quote. Oh yeah, we do. Look, we do have a quote bot. Forgot about them. Yeah, I'm very excited about these Kaiser rolls. These rolls. Kaiser rolls, whatever they are. These bits of bread, they look good. I do just want to eat them just right now, but as with most things, time fixes all. Time is good for that. Forget what I was saying. I just want to let it rest. Letting bread rest is a good thing. Also, I need to go get my phone charged. Back, and I have to just use this really comically long wire here. There we go. That should do it. Now where do I? Nope, okay. I gotta get the pretzel. There we go. I don't know where to put this. I'll leave it here for now. Good. It looks very strange just to have a wire just dangling over here, but I don't think you can even see it, so maybe that's just for the better. Here, I'm actually just gonna throw this pretzel onto a sheet tray and just throw it in the oven. Do I have a small sheet tray? I don't know where to put this. Put it right. I love your VTuber avatar. Hello. Hi there. Hello there. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, my modeler, and my rigger. He's the rigger and the artist for this model. He did a really good job for it. Check him out on Twitter. It's Sonic Chan. He should be in my Abouts tab on Twitch, and then he should be in the more info tab or about me on YouTube. So please check him out. I think that should be finito with the baking today. I don't think I need my yeast anymore. Okay. Cold tea. Ugh. Nasty. Oh yeah, I can turn this off too. I don't really need this water on anymore too. I kind of have to just check out how this pretzel turned out at this point. I'm just gonna throw her in the oven. I forgot to add baking soda to the poaching liquid as well, because usually for pretzels you and I add like lye, but I don't have lye, so the next best thing is using baking soda. But I don't want to go through all that effort because I want to just make sure and test to see if this pretzel even tastes good. That's more important to me. I want to make sure that the pretzel will at least taste good. Because when you do actually, what is it? Ow, ow, that's hot, ow. Because only when you poach a pretzel, you don't really get much flavor. I mean, when you poach it in baking soda, you don't really get too much flavor. So, there's a game like it called Oh, really? Is it like that art style? I've heard of that game before, but I have not played it myself. It's a lot like Ori. Ori. There's another game called Ori, I think, too, but it's like one of those games. It's like a platformer RPG, right? Sorta. To make friends. So, is it like, what is it? Is it like, what is it called? Is it like, Stardew Valley? Like that then? Solar Barb. Oh, that's a nice username. Hello. It's an adventure game. Okay, fair enough, yeah. You can save spirits and go through different realms. That sounds very familiar. I think I definitely have heard or seen gameplay of that game. Maybe I'll play that on stream sometime. I'll put that on the list of games to stream. And trust me when I say this, that list is unfortunately not that big. So, suggestions for games are always welcome. Okay. Trey has cooled off at this point, so I believe it's fine to show this off. But here are the bagels. Nice bagel. Pretty nice one. Feels nice. Has that sound of a bagel would when you tap it on the bottom. Very good bagel. It could probably rest it a little bit longer, but that's a pretty solid bagel. And to also showcase the difference between poaching a bagel and not poaching it, you probably can't see it well, but the crust is definitely different. It's a lot more shiny and waxy, while this one is a lot more flaky and tender. And this just feels a lot more smoother, while this one feels a lot more rough and coarse. So, bagels, the boiling, that's what it does. But yeah, now I got some bagels. I'll put them here on my tray, and I will them later. But I'll take a picture of them later. I love bread. Me too. It's kind of my brand, if you will. I'm a baker. I like baking bread. I like baking a whole lot of things, so. Baguette. That's my favorite. I like baguettes too. They're very, very good. I love myself a good baguette. My favorite thing to do with a baguette is, it's gonna be kind of strange, but trust me, getting some nice creamy brie, getting some sliced grapes, and then butter. It is simple, it is fatty, it is rich and delicious. It is so, so good. I would recommend, if you ever get the chance, try and make a sandwich like that. It sounds weird, because you're using a brie spread, which brie is a very unique kind of cheese. If you don't like aged cheese, you might not like it. But brie cheese, butter, and then using grapes, which I know is a wild card, but trust me, the sweetness and the juicy and crispness of that balances very well with the nice rich butteriness from the brie and the butter. So, very, very good. I would recommend someone would try that. I can use it as a sword too. Yeah. But you have to make sure that they're a day old. You can't use fresh baguettes as swords. They are simply just too delicious. Oh. Okay, it looks like our milk bread is also almost done too. We're just chugging along. We're just chugging along today. Getting a lot of stuff done in such quick time. Very much more difficult than yesterday. Yesterday I had a little bit of wait. I have a good amount of wait time between each thing, but we're just pumping out bread. We're just going and going and going. So. There ain't no stop. We only bake. This bake train does not stop for anything except for bread. And resting bread. The Kaiser is done, but I'm gonna put the bagel in for just a little longer. Actually, nah, it's done. I'm looking at it along with its brethren. Ah, man, that's hot. Ow. That's also a kind of sad-looking pretzel. My god. Okay. Well, now I'm just going to actually take this pretzel out. It's gonna be cooked enough for me to be able to try and taste it, but I don't have good hopes for it. I don't have high hopes for it. Because now, at least, I'm going to actually bake the milk bread. I believe it's done. Oh yeah, that's perfect. ready to go. So, milk bread into the oven it goes. Alright. The pretzel definitely does look like a pretzel. Feels like one. But I will test that in a bit. Do you have a favorite anime? Actually, yes, I do. I don't really watch much anime because I don't really have the time nor attention span for it. But I do have a favorite. I really like Bocchi the Rock, just because I find Bocchi to be very relatable. So, Bocchi the Rock is my favorite anime recently. If you asked me probably a year ago, I would have probably said Rising of the Shield Hero. But man, did that anime drop hard. Like, it dropped off really badly, which is a shame. It was really good in the beginning, because the concept is kind of like, you know, because usually the main protagonist is going to be treated as a hero and all that stuff, so the base was set. But once they started making more sequels and made a second season and all of that stuff, that's when it just kind of got a little bit too much. Which is, I guess, bound to happen, because you can only take the betrayal aspect so far. You can't really get betrayed again, because you also gotta take into account that that character learns, and this, and then, all that sort of stuff, so. The Kaiser rolls, the bagels, they look good. How about our little pretzel? Alright, test pretzel. How do you taste? I know it doesn't look great, because I pulled it early on purpose, because I just wanted to taste it. But that is pretty good. Yeah, I think this might be acceptable to try and at least go into the other batch of it. I'm going to get I'm gonna get a baking soda solution set up again, but I'm gonna bake all these breads first, and then we'll get into the pretzel making. Pretzel making is just a little complicated, so I want to be ready for that. My favorite anime is Attack on Titan. That's a pretty good one. I personally like the earlier seasons. When it got into the later seasons, it just kind of got weird in my head. Like, Eren turns evil or whatever it is, or I don't know what happens with it. Like, everyone just goes emo, and I don't know, it gets a little too edgy for me, and it's like... I mean, it's not saying that Attack on Titan was not inherently edgy, but... it just kind of felt like... It's not what I was watching initially, you know? I actually might eat that pretzel. It's actually pretty tasty. And for this brioche, I'm actually gonna cut it down a bit. I'm gonna probably make French toast tomorrow, and then I'm just going to do that. But I'm gonna let it out so it can dry out a bit, so then when I soak it tomorrow and make my French toast, then it'll be a lot better. So. Hello, comrade. Bread? Yes, we are making bread. Making a whole bunch of bread. Just finished making all of our bagels. We are done with our Kaiser rolls, and at this point, we are working and waiting on our milk bread. Round 2 of our milk bread. We're gonna get it right this time, so. Now, at this point, though, I am trying to just clean up a bit. I've made quite a mess, so I'm trying to clean up the mess I've made. The model is very confused by chewing. No, the model is fairly good at picking up me chewing. Fairly good at that. So, do you have so many poppy seeds on your bread, or is it burned? It is poppy seed. It is poppy seed. Not worry. They're just poppy seed. They are supposed to be Kaiser rolls. So, when I was looking up pictures and reference, and my book and online, Kaiser rolls tend to have some sort of thing on top. So, poppy seed, I think it looks nice, and I use poppy seed. So yeah. I want to take a on my need to take a picture. I don't know why it's take a photo. Here we go. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make my Roomba do its work. Do some work today. I'm looking at my Roomba right now. I mean, I'm looking at my Roomba. I'm looking at my floor, and I definitely am probably gonna have to clear it up a bit. There we go. Oh. That. Up. I am looking at, you've decided to discuss Attack on Titan. Yeah, we were briefly talking about it. I actually don't remember too much about the show at all, but I do remember I liked the season 1 and season 2 of it. That was really good. I like those. I don't think I've seen the more recent seasons, like 3 and so on, but it gets pretty interesting. I just don't really have enough time to watch anime, nor do I really have an interest. If anything, I just kind of rewatch Bocchi the Rock because it's just kind of funny. I love the animation style, the characterization is good, and it's just a silly little thing. So, that and I'm a sucker for slice of life. So there's that too. Can't go wrong with a nice good old cute thing of slice of life. Alright. Yeah, there's not much to do right now. We kind of are just sitting and waiting for something to happen. I am kind of getting tired. I used up all my energy yesterday when we were streaming and such, so... tired today. I might unfortunately not even make the pretzels. I'm actually getting fairly tired, and all my equipment needs to be charged, so... we unfortunately might have to end stream today. But so far, so good. If anything, I want to get my... what is it? I want to get the sourdough baked off before we end stream, at least. At least I want to get that done, so that is something we need to do. haven't read. I don't like to. Yeah, no, I don't like to read either. Bocchi the Rock is an anime. I don't really watch manga at all. Not watch. I don't really read manga at all because I don't really like reading necessarily. Like the only thing I find myself reading are usually just recipe books and things about bread and stuff among that, but I don't really read that much either. It's unfortunate. I wish I had the attention span to read, but I just can't focus on reading. It is very difficult for me. I just can't do it. Alright. Ah, the milk bread's looking pretty good, though. I guess also with trying to make it rise is just going to be a general difficult task by the look. It doesn't rise as much as the brioche bread does, so I'll have to look into that. Okay, how about we actually move to my desktop, because now I'm getting kind of tired. I want to just sit down and yeah. Let's go. Okay, and I am finally sitting down. Oh my goodness, it feels good to sit down. Yeah, not much we can do right now. We're just kind of waiting for stuff to get finished. Oh my, it's also a Twitch stream? Yeah, we are doing a Twitch stream as well. We are streaming both on Twitch and on YouTube. I stream on Twitch just because I did start out VTubing and streaming on Twitch. So I kind of feel like some sense of responsibility to still provide over there, but I do like to have my main goal and focus to be here. I like to mostly focus my energy and streaming to be here, to more or less be catering to the needs of YouTube. So, yeah. Oh, it's hot in here though. Very warm. Hi everyone. Hello there, Labor Melkor. Very hi. When I bake, I get a loaf of bread or a pizza or something. When Salty bakes, he gets focaccia, bagels, 5 Kaiser Semmens, pretzels, and a loaf of bread. I guess so. Yeah, I go hard with my baking. Though today, I will also mention that today's kind of special in a sense, because we are just making sure we get the basics done. We're getting all these breads done just because we can, and yeah. I have to redo and relook at all my recipes, and now I'm going to take this opportunity, since now I'm sitting down, to actually rewrite and write down these recipes now. I'm very happy with all these recipes at this point, so now I'm just going to really quickly go to my document and write down and confirm these recipes. What is that picture of the goldfish you have? That picture is my pet goldfish. He is my best friend, he is the best boy, and he swims around and gives me moral support. I love him. He's my best friend. He is my best baker. He's my best fish. He is the best fish to ever swim in my home, so I love him. Uh, 88, 20. Alright, let me that. Let's 2, 4, 5. 4, 5. Okay, cool. Oops. And my fish is constantly swimming upside down. Ooh, that's not good. You have to probably check on his stomach. There's probably just a lot of air in his swim bladder right now, so you might have to try and somehow squeeze him a little bit. If he's swimming upside down, that's not good. It's either because of that, or maybe he's sick. Look into that. The Foccacia. Let me just really rewrite. Let me sure if I have that all rewritten down. 350. 10 grams of salt, right? Yeah. 12 grams of honey. Olive oil. Water. Yeah, okay, cool. That's pretty much the same then. Rye bread, I'm very confident about. The AP bread, let's see that. I know it's bad, so I introduced more fish into the new aquarium. Oh, okay. I don't think that's gonna help him though. If anything, you might get your other fish sick. So, I mean, you do you. But that's at least my 2 cents. Take that as you will. And the milk bread recipe, I am going to replace it with the one I currently have. I think. Yeah, let me do that. Actually, I'll change it at another time. But yeah, I will change that. Yeah, the focaccia's done. The rye bread I'm very happy with. Pretzels are gonna need a little bit of more work. AP bread, that's pretty much good, but I gotta do conversions for that. Milk bread. Conversions need to be done, more testing. Pretzels needs to be converted a bit more testing. Sourdough and bagels. Bagels are done, sourdough I know is good. It's just that I know that if I do bake it today, it's gonna be a little weird. So, yeah, that's just something I gotta figure out later. But I'm tired. I'm getting to that point where I just need to, like, maybe just finish up this little bit of bread and then we'll go do something else, yes? Let's see. Who is streaming on Twitch? Who can we go raid? No one that I see. Maybe Elian. He's cool. Maybe Bag. There's a few. Yeah, we'll definitely figure that out later. So we only have around 7 minutes, and I am also going to take the liberty of saying I might just end stream after the milk bread is done. I am sorry, but I am honestly really... I'm pooped. I'm tired. Doing a baking stream back-to-back is very, very time-consuming. It's a lot. Unfortunately, I will have to bake the sourdough at my own time. You will see it, though. It is being rested right now, and actually, if I take a look at it... Oh. Yeah, it's good to go by the looks of it. I just have to get my pan hot, and that's gonna take time. So, there's a lot of time that I just kind of want to put more focus into relaxing. So yeah, I'm gonna probably be doing that after this milk bread is done. But today was a good day. Today was a good day of testing, seeing, and see how these recipes were turning out. So I'm very happy with how they turned out. Okay, I'll go to bed. Okie doke. Thank you for tuning in, Alexander. You have a good rest now. Soon I might be following suit. I might actually go, like, rest myself down, because... Actually, I can't rest. I actually remembered. I gotta do a 500 subscriber special for you guys. It's gonna be a silly little video. I have been working on a silly little video, and I think you'll like it because it's silly and it's not supposed to be taken seriously. It is a funny little thing, so keep an eye out for that within the next week. I will try to get it done as quickly as I can. I did not expect me to hit 500 this early in the new year, so we'll see. You'll see. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, Loot Setko, Alexander. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. My ears though, like, my ears are absolutely just getting crushed. Because for my new, like, baking setup I have a different pair of headphones I'm wearing, and they are very, very tight on my head, and it hurts. I don't know how to make it softer other than probably stretching it out a bit more, but that would require me to wear it more, and already I'm at my limit of, like, I don't want to wear this anymore. Alright. Papa nipple. That's safe to say that it is done. Turning up that heat again for my sourdough, and I right now. Alright, fellas, that's that. I am pooped. I do not think I can do any more. I can't do another marathon stream. No. Way too tired. We're gonna finish up today. Thank you all for tuning in today. I am going to go rest. I'm going to make sure that this sourdough gets baked off. I will send pictures of everything when everything is said and done. Which crowd? We are going to go raid. Not Bag, because he's asleep. We're going to go raid. Let's go. Let's take a look. Someone small. Someone as small as me. Oh, there's a sushi. There's someone making sushi. Oh, we're definitely gonna raid them. Alright, so me, Mip, Yun. Okay, we're gonna go raid them. People of the Twitch area, this is our raid message if you're a sub. This is our raid message if you're not a sub. We're gonna go raid this person, and we are going to go give them some bread. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in today. I very much appreciate you all being here. I am sleepy though. I need to go rest and make sure I can make this focaccia. Sourdough. See, I'm already fatigued. I just need to go rest my brain. My brain tired. So much baking. But yeah. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm gonna be going off my own way, and I will be posting my schedule soon. So thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all later. You'll see the pictures fairly soon. And yeah, I will see you all at a later date. Otsukichi, and ciao.